Also making national news tonight, several years ago, Nassau Harbor underwent extensive work to deepen waters to accommodate a newer and larger class of cruise ships. Today, that decision bodes well for the Bahamas as the largest cruise ship in the world called on the Port of Nassau. Our Sieska Adderley and cameraman Lyndon Smith made that inaugural voyage.
Largest cruise ship, Symphony of the Seas, cruised into the Port of Nassau on its inaugural voyage with much fanfare Wednesday, with local officials hosting cruisers, invited guests, and cruise line executives to a joyous time on board, with performances by the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Force bands, as well as the Rhythm and Youth Band. In his remarks, President and CEO for Royal Caribbean International, Michael Bailey, noted how the Bahamas has been a great friend to Royal Caribbean, and the Bahamas remains the most popular destination for them.
Royal Caribbean has very strong ties to the Bahamas. The first ship sailed here in 1970, and in fact Nassau was the very first port of call for our company in the first inaugural sailing of the first Royal Caribbean ship 50 years ago. Today, 25 of our ships are registered here in the Bahamas, and each year we bring over 1.2 million vacationers to your beautiful islands. So our plan by 2021 is almost 1.75 million visitors to the Bahamas coming with Royal Caribbean. We also plan to extend the amount of time spent in port so that our guests can do, see, and spend more in your beautiful islands.
RCL's commitment to the Bahamas spells good news for the country's tourism product. And while officials welcome the more than 8,000 that will come to the Bahamas on board the Symphony of the Seas, Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio D'Aguilar, revealed that cruise tourism has an economic impact of over $400 million annually and accounts for some 9,000 jobs. And as a result, he says the onus is now on local tourism stakeholders to provide guests with a memorable experience.
Over the next 3 years, the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation has set as its #1 priority the enhancement of the cruise guest experience in the Bahamas, and in particular in the Port of Nassau, which, as the gateway to the Bahamas, welcomes some 10,000 cruise visitors each and every day. The Port of Nassau is the showcase of the Bahamas. First impressions are lasting ones. In this regard, immediate to short-term plans encompass a redesign and transformational development of the Port of Nassau, key sections of downtown Bay Street and immediate surroundings. Our RFP for this project has already been sent out, with Friday, the 7th of December 2018, as the deadline for the submission of proposals.
The Tourism and Aviation Minister says it is their goal to make the Port of Nassau the envy of the region. And already, this largest cruise ship in the world has made its mark by choosing Nassau as its inaugural destination.
With the official ceremony now complete, it signals the end of the inaugural voyage, but the start of an ongoing partnership between the Royal Caribbean International Cruise Line and the Bahamas, as the Port of Nassau is officially one of the stops on this newest ship. About to disembark from the Symphony of the Seas, Sieska Adderley for ZNS Network News.